Picture the sunlit African plains stretching endlessly beneath a vast blue sky, alive with the energy of thousands of zebras. Their black and white stripes ripple like living brushstrokes across the golden grass, creating a mesmerizing tapestry that moves with the wind and the rhythm of their hooves. These zebras aren't just wandering aimlessly, they're embarking on one of nature's most epic migrations, a journey shaped by ancient instincts, passed down through generations. Each step is purposeful, each movement a part of a story written long before any of us were here to witness it. For years, scientists and observers believed zebras simply followed the rains, chasing the promise of green grass and fresh water. It seems simple. When the land dried up, the herds moved on, always searching for the next oasis. But what if their journey is influenced by something far more distant? Events unfolding in the vast, restless Pacific Ocean, thousands of miles away from the African plains. Today, scientists are uncovering a remarkable global connection. Ocean currents, swirling and shifting across the planet, can set off a chain reaction that eventually triggers the start of a zebra migration. The pulse of the ocean, it turns out, can echo all the way to the heart of Africa. This discovery challenges everything we thought we knew about animal movement. It suggests that the world's ecosystems are more deeply intertwined than we ever imagined. Subtle shifts in ocean temperatures can ripple across continents, influencing rainfall patterns and, ultimately, the life or death choices of a single herd. A change in the ocean can mean the difference between abundance and scarcity on the savanna. Traditionally, we thought zebras moved only when local rain stopped and the grass dried up, responding directly to the conditions around them. But researchers began to notice oddities. Herds sometimes left early, abandoning green pastures, or lingered longer than expected when conditions seemed just right. The pattern didn't always fit the old explanations. It was as if the zebras were responding to a signal we couldn't see or hear, something beyond the immediate landscape. The mystery deepened. Were these animals somehow anticipating the future, not just reacting to the present? Could they sense changes coming before any sign appeared on the horizon? The answer, it turns out, is written not just in the African sky, but in the pulse of distant oceans. The story of the zebra migration is a story of invisible threads, connecting land and sea, weather and instinct. The zebra migration is a story of global interconnection, a living testament to the complexity of nature. We're only beginning to understand how deeply the fate of these animals is tied to forces far beyond their immediate world. Their journey is a gamble on a forecast written far, far away, a leap of faith that connects the heart of Africa to the farthest reaches of the world's oceans. To unravel this mystery, we embark on a journey that begins in the vast and diverse landscapes of Africa. Our exploration takes us to the heart of the Pacific Ocean, a vast expanse of water that holds the key to understanding global climate phenomena. Here, powerful forces, El Niño and La Niña, are at play, shaping the planet's climate in profound ways that ripple across the globe. El Niño occurs when Pacific waters warm significantly, releasing immense energy into the atmosphere and causing disruptions in global weather patterns. This warming can lead to severe droughts in some regions while bringing torrential floods to others, all triggered by a seemingly subtle temperature shift. La Niña, on the other hand, is characterized by cooler Pacific waters, which also have the power to reshape weather, but in contrasting ways. Together, these cycles, collectively known as ENSO, act as the planet's climate engine, driving weather patterns worldwide. Their influence stretches across continents, affecting rainfall, drought, and the fate of entire ecosystems, from lush rainforests to arid savannas. Other oceans, like the Indian Ocean, have their own cycles, such as the Indian Ocean dipole, which can amplify or dampen the effects of ENSO. Understanding these complex rhythms is crucial for decoding the hidden links between distant oceans and the wildlife that depends on them. The story of the zebra, migrating across the African plains, is, in part, the story of the world's oceans and their far-reaching impact. These global patterns set the stage for every migration, influencing the paths and survival of countless species. How does a warm Pacific current change Africa's weather? El Niño heats the Pacific, creating massive updrafts that disrupt global air currents. In southern Africa, this often means less rain and severe drought. In East Africa, the same event can bring heavy, prolonged rains and flooding. La Niña flips the pattern. Southern Africa gets more rain, while East Africa dries out. These shifts, called teleconnections, link distant oceans to African weather. The Indian Ocean dipole can further intensify or counteract these effects, bringing more rain or drought depending on its phase. Sometimes, multiple oceanic events overlap, creating extreme or moderate conditions. Africa's weather is a complex dance, choreographed by the world's oceans. The consequences are felt in every drop of rain, or its absence. The savanna is a stage for this global drama. On the ground, these global shifts become a matter of survival. El Niño-induced droughts turn green savannas brown, rivers shrink, and waterholes vanish. Grasses wither, leaving zebras with little to eat. In East Africa, too much rain can flood grazing lands, destroy vegetation, and breed disease. The timing of rain is crucial. Animals synchronize migration and breeding with the wet season. When oceanic events disrupt this rhythm, the entire ecosystem is thrown off balance. Late or failed rains mean newborns may starve. Floods can separate or drown the young. The distant ocean's pulse sets the tempo for life on the savanna. When that rhythm falters, every creature feels the impact. The stakes are nothing less than survival. For zebras, life on the African plains is a never-ending quest, a constant search for two essentials, water and fresh grass. Every day their survival depends on finding these resources in a landscape that is always changing. As bulk grazers, zebras require vast amounts of nutritious green shoots, delicate blades that only flourish after the life-giving rains. When the grass is lush and plentiful, the herds thrive, their energy renewed with every mouthful. Water is just as vital. Zebras must always remain within a day's walk of a reliable source. Without water, even the greenest grass cannot sustain them for long. During the wet season, they spread out across the savanna, taking advantage of abundant resources. But, as the dry season approaches and waterholes shrink, herds are forced to cluster around the last remaining pools, competition intensifying. When El Niño brings drought, both grass and water vanish quickly, leaving the land parched and unforgiving. The once green plains turn to dust, and the struggle for survival becomes even more desperate. In these harsh times, zebras face a difficult choice: stay near water and risk starvation as food disappears, or venture far in search of grass, risking dehydration and predators along the way. This is when migration becomes urgent, a desperate, collective move for survival. The entire herd must travel together, covering vast distances in search of a new haven. The land signals, dry grass, shrinking water, trigger the herd's instinct to move. Zebras are finely attuned to these subtle changes, sensing when it's time to leave. Their journey is not leisurely, it's a race against time and hunger, a test of endurance and unity as they push forward together. Even the distant ocean's influence is felt in every hoofbeat, as weather patterns shaped by faraway waters dictate the fate of the plains. Migration is a direct response to global forces, an ancient rhythm connecting zebras to the pulse of the planet itself. Zebras are masters of adaptation. Their migrations aren't fixed. They adjust routes and timing in response to changing conditions. When drought strikes, they seek new paths, guided by memory and instinct. In Botswana, zebras resumed a forgotten migration route as soon as barriers were removed, showing their flexibility. In drought years, they may stay near permanent water even if grazing is poor. La Niña years bring abundant rain, letting herds spread out and explore new areas. Migration maps are redrawn each year, shaped by the rains. This adaptability is a testament to zebra intelligence and resilience. They read subtle cues, smell of rain, grass condition, water levels, to make life or death decisions. The ocean sets the broad pattern. Zebras improvise their survival. Their journey is a living response to a changing world. How do we know all this? Science and technology. GPS collars track zebra movements in real time, mapping their migrations across the savanna. Satellite imagery reveals where grass is growing and water is available. Ocean buoys and satellites monitor global climate events like El Niño and La Niña. By overlaying zebra tracks, vegetation maps, and climate data, scientists uncover the connections. Patterns emerge. Strong El Niño years mean altered zebra migrations. This detective work requires collaboration. Biologists, climatologists, and data scientists working together. The result, a clear picture of how distant oceans shape the fate of African wildlife. Science reveals the invisible threads connecting the Pacific to the plains. The zebra's journey is written in data, as well as in stripes. This isn't just fascinating science, it's vital for conservation. It proves that no ecosystem is isolated. Distant climate events can shape life in a single park. Conservation must be global, not just local. With climate forecasts, park managers can prepare for droughts or floods, protecting both wildlife and habitat. Anticipating El Niño years allows for proactive measures, managing water, preventing wildfires, and supporting animal survival. But climate change is amplifying these cycles, making extreme events more common. Zebras already face threats from habitat loss and poaching. Intensified climate shocks could push them to the brink. The zebra's story is a lesson in global interconnectedness. The health of the Pacific Ocean is tied to the survival of African wildlife. Recognizing these links is the first step to effective stewardship. Our actions ripple across the world, just like the ocean's currents. The ultimate goal is conservation, using knowledge to protect zebras. Understanding ocean cycles lets us predict tough years and plan ahead. Conservationists can secure migration corridors, giving zebras room to adapt. In drought years, they can mitigate human-wildlife conflict before it escalates. International cooperation is crucial. The fate of zebras is tied to global climate health. Protecting them means reducing emissions, preserving habitat, and making sustainable choices worldwide. The zebra's journey is a story of resilience and adaptation. These animals respond to the planet's pulse, not just the local rain. Our responsibility is to listen to science and act wisely. If we do, the thunder of zebra hooves will echo across Africa for generations.